Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. You ready for today? My name is Tammy Workman-Lopez, and my company is Sparks Hope. You can see all the information over here on ways to reach me, ways to ask questions. I come on here every Wednesday, answering your questions, giving you the support that you need, and really just helping you to make the changes in your life that you maybe don't even know that you need, or you're like, I totally need. Or what is that? Let me learn more about that. See how that could help my life or help my family's life. My whole goal is to help families stay together. And the way I do that is I help entrepreneurs. Why? Well, entrepreneurs are so busy in life. They've got so many things going on. And when you have all these extra things going on in life, it can be very difficult to keep our families together. And in doing so, we're able then to focus on our company, move things forward. We're able to have balance in our life, be able to work with our families, be able to meet ourselves and get past those areas where we feel like we're blocked. And then we take that and we're really great in our businesses. And I work with individuals, I work with couples, I work with small businesses. And the idea is when you have the tools, you know how to do it. If you have the tools and you don't know how to use them, okay, then you don't know how to do it. So I help you have the tools. I help you know how to use them. I help you know how to implement them with others. And then it becomes your lifelong tools that you're able to continue to use. And so that is what I do here at Sparks Hope. I help people to get their hope sparked again. So then they're able to take the action steps that they need to, the tools to remove the blocks that are in the way. And then they're like, wow, I do feel like I have the hope again in my life. I do feel like I have hope to move forward. I do feel like I can step into my dreams again and not just feel like I'm on a little bit of, some success, but stuck or not enough success and feeling, kind of down or feeling like I've got to be perfect before I move forward. And all of those things can get you blocked. Sometimes you could be doing exceptionally well, but there's just this one area or this one new thing, like any milestone that comes up in life can really kick us, right? Whether somebody passes away, whether there's a divorce, whether somebody has a falling out, that stuff can just hit us so hard. It can bring up blocks that we didn't know we had. And then all of a sudden we're stuck. How do I think that. And so knowing that stuff is normal and knowing that there's ways to work on it, be able to help yourselves to remove those blocks, by resetting your mindset, resetting whatever is going on around that. And that's what I do. I work with people to help them do that. And so in doing so, it helps them feel like they're doing well. It helps them feel like they're keeping their families together. And even if the family has to separate, right, out of divorce or, even children moving on, it still has this healthy experience with it. So the family still ends up being together. Right? And even for family members who you're just like, I can only spend a little bit of time with them. You learn how to spend that little bit of time and make it quality. Sometimes you might learn how to set some really good boundaries that make it even better. Not sometimes, almost always. So those are just some ways that I can help. So if you find yourself stuck with some limiting thinking, if you find yourself stuck with some negative thoughts, negative beliefs, and you're like, this sounds like this could really help. This could help me, this could help me and my spouse, me and my business partner, reach out. You can reach me here, right? My phone number, 954-657-3407. You can go to my website, it's sparkshope.life. And then when you're on there, you can look up contact, right? You can book online, or you can go to sparkshope.life/book-online. So that's another way to do it. But simply enough, you could also text me or message me on the platform you're watching this with. I look forward to connecting with you. I look forward to being here each and every Wednesday. Now, let's get to it. So the question that I had for this week is, how do I even know if I'm in victim mentality? And when I'm around people who are in that victim mentality, how do I work with that? Because it just like sucks the energy out of my life, out of my brain. So we're going to be talking about that today, kind of giving you an idea. So what I'd like you to do before we get started is I'd like you to go ahead down to the bottom and share this. Share this with anyone that you think is like, oh my gosh, I am totally stuck in this particular area. Share it with anyone you think would want to learn more about their thoughts and their emotions. Share it with anyone that you feel like they might be in a stuck situation and they've shared that with you. And say, hey, I think this might be able to support you in what we were talking about. And as you're listening to this, if you're thinking about, oh my gosh, this is so helpful, I want to share this with, then please do so. You are on the mission with me to help me get the word out. There are so many people who are stuck in areas they don't need to be stuck. There are so many people dealing with negative thoughts and negative emotions. They don't need to. They don't know how to do it any other way. And it's not like there's something wrong with them. That's not the case at all. It just means they don't know how yet. Just like you don't know how to ride a bike or you don't know how to do an activity. That's all it is. And we just create that experience to help them learn how. And by sharing this information, you're able to help me share my mission in doing so. So I just also shared it as well. I shared it to my story and I just shared it out on my other platform. Okay, good. So first things first, how do you know if you're even being, right? Like, what does that even mean? So I've got a few points here. And if you want, take some notes. So you probably already know this answer. So for example, somebody who's being a victim, and guys, this isn't out of judgment, this is out of awareness. So if you notice this about yourself or somebody else, I don't want you to go, oh man, yeah, oh. I want you to be in more like, oh, that's what I'm doing there. Okay, so how can I change that? Because we're in judgment about something, there's really no room to change it. So open it up. Okay, so what might be some ways that I'm doing victim? What might be some ways that others are doing victim? So is there anywhere that you're blaming somebody? Now, even if something is true, like somebody did something to you, the more you stay focused on blaming them, the more that makes you a victim of something. If something is in your past, it's done, it's over. You're no longer being affected by that person. Now, if you're still being affected by them, that's a different story. But let's say this is totally in your past, something that's happened to you. If there's still stuff coming up about it, that means there's something going on with your thinking that you get to clear. Aha, that's confirmation. So as you allow yourself to kind of clear that out, you're going, oh, okay, great. That's not there anymore. I don't have that holding you down. The thoughts around it is what's holding you down, not what that person did, because it's over. It's not happening anymore. But if you're rethinking it and replaying it, you're making it happen to you over and over again. And so it's important to allow yourself to realize when we could talk about something of the past, that's one thing. But when we talk about it and relive it, your subconscious mind doesn't know it's not happening to you. When you're thinking about it as though you're reliving it, you're having yourself hurt all over again. Allow yourself to imagine that you're up in a hot air balloon, far away, in a jet engine plane, and you can see the past from there. Notice how you tell the story from there. It's just like a story. You're so far away from it. Right? My hand's over there. Versus when you tell yourself the story like that happened to me, and you relive it and you feel the emotions and you feel the pain. That is actually you reliving it again, because your mind is so amazing. We can relive a beautiful time, but we can also relive painful times, right? So that's a way we could be doing it. We could be blaming a situation that's happened in the past and reliving it and hurting ourselves. That makes us a victim again and again and again without meaning to. This is not blame. This is just able to catch yourself so you can go, oh my gosh, no wonder it hurts so much when I think about it. Now, that doesn't mean that that time didn't hurt, and it doesn't mean that that doesn't need attention. It's coming up because it needs attention. And when we don't give it attention, we don't give it attention that it's needed from someone who can help you, then it's, again, in victim mode because it's hurting you. I don't need to take care of that. I'm just fine. That's like somebody there with a wound going, no, I'm fine. I'm okay. They're now making themselves a victim to themselves, not taking care of themselves, not doing what's needed, not caring for their mind, their body, their emotions, their spirit, right? So those are some various ways. There are some others, right? So Myself, I grew up in a very traumatic experience. I grew up with a lot of abuse, a lot of judgment, a lot of criticism. And so as I grew up, I took that template, right, that programming along with me. My brain was working just fine. That information was just fine then, right? But as children, we don't understand that we created a programming. We don't even know it's there. We just live from it. So if you have a programming that says nobody's going to be there for you, nobody's going to take care of you, you're going to always be alone. Love means sacrifice. Love means pain. Love means accepting that people are going to hurt you. A child is going to have a perspective that the world is not safe. Now, you might say, well, that's the whole world, and the child has only met these few people. The child can't think that way. Their people are their whole world. Now, you take that mentality and you grow it up. And now you have adults who have this experience within them that the world is not safe. People are not safe. The people I care about are going to hurt me. The people I don't care about are going to hurt me. People are going to hurt me. Guys, I've lived that life. So it's not about blaming or shaming yourself. It's about going, oh, this sounds familiar. This is where I'm coming from. And if that's the case, then reach out, because there's no reason you have to stay in that. And being able to take a look and knowing in your head, well, I know not everybody is going to hurt me because not everybody has hurt me, but you know it here. You don't know it in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind has a belief, a core belief. Nah, I don't care what you tell me. I'm going to get hurt. It's there to protect you, but you can't just shift it with conscious thinking. You actually have to shift it with subconscious training as you're practicing it, as you're doing it intentionally at the same time. There's so many things that you'll be able to practice as you're learning those things, so the subconscious mind continues to allow it in and the shift happens. Now, that's not hard as you're practicing it, but it's sure hard if you don't know it. So be kind with yourself. If you don't know it, you've got to get the support to learn it, right? You're not going to learn algebra all by yourself unless you're like totally a genius, but you might love algebra, so then it'll work. You can't learn how to understand your emotions and understand yourself at the same exact time when you're in your emotions, because your brain shuts down into like this whatever type reactive mode you have. And so as your brain is going through the emotional stuff, you can't really think properly. You can't really process properly. It's very difficult, right? But as you're learning it, you'll see, oh, well, now that I have the tools, it's not that difficult. Just like riding a bike. Riding a bike for a little kid, you fall down, you smash your face, you bust in your teeth if you don't know how to ride that thing. That's tough. But once you learn how to ride it, it's easy. You know what to do. You've learned the balance. But before then, it's not going to be easy. But that doesn't mean the task itself won't be easy to learn. And the way you're able to learn this information makes it easy, makes it calming for you, which is what allows the subconscious mind to let it in, right? All right, so those are just some. You're probably, another one, people who complain all the time. Drain, 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 right? And you want to be mindful. If you're someone who complains all the time, I was there. I complained a lot. Now, I didn't think I was complaining. I thought I was just sharing how I felt about something. I was frustrated about something or, whatever. But if it can't be changed, right? Like, I feel like much of the food has changed since COVID. I feel like much of the restaurants have changed since COVID. Quality is down and customer service is down. And like, there's just so many things that have changed. It's not like I can fix it. It's not like it's going to get fixed anytime soon, if ever. So if I keep talking about it, it keeps agitating me. It keeps frustrating me. If I keep sharing it, now I'm hearing myself say it, and now I'm adding that frustration to the other person. So just notice if it's a constant complaint or speaking about something that's negative and you're not solving it. One, if you can't solve it, you state it and you move on. Let yourself let it go, because otherwise you're going to allow yourself to stay in that unsettled, unhealthy about it space. and there'll be resistance, and there'll be frustration, and there'll be, anger about this changes and all this stuff. And so then every time you go out to eat, you feel that or whatnot. Oh, I went through that experience, by the way. And I've had clients that have had to work through that too. So this isn't like it's a you thing. This is a human thing. So just notice, now there may be also people who are complaining outright all the time. Those are folks you want to be able to set a boundary with, right? There's nothing wrong with being able to vent. Let's take 5 minutes to vent. You get 2.5 minutes, just go for it. I'll get 2.5 minutes, go for it. And then let's go ahead on our day. Let's enjoy. Because when we're in that complaining mode, the idea of it is to allow ourselves to use a sounding board and go, what can I do about it? What can I change about it? What can I improve about it? That's supposed to be the goal. But sometimes you find people living and complaining. So then the thought is, what are you going to do about it? Is it something you can change? If not, okay, great. So let's vent about it once, and then we get to move on. If it keeps coming up for you, that means that's an area you get to focus on and get to change for yourself and like own it, right? All right, cool beans. So these are some things that I wanted to share with you, as well as some methods to be able to catch yourself so you can step out of it. Now, I know this is just a little bit, and you might have questions. Ask me those questions. You might be relating to some of this stuff. Allow yourself to go, okay, I relate to this, and I relate to that, and I relate to this. And I could see how you shared that would help. I could see how you shared that could help. I see how you shared that could help, right? We talked about being able to be aware of it. We talked about being able to set boundaries with ourselves. We talked about being able to notice when someone else is doing it in various ways that you're doing it. And then also allowing yourself to take a look at, how can I change that? What are the methods I could do? Or just venting about it and going, okay, that's all I needed because there's nothing I'm going to do about it. Okay, done. That just shifts all that off, right? We talked about noticing when there's blaming, noticing how to let yourself clean that up. Notice how to look at something from a distance versus reliving it and experiencing it. So I hope these ideas and these activities of practice help you to see how you can make those changes, both being more aware of what that victim mentality looks like for yourself and others, more aware of how to step out of it with these different ideas for yourself and with others. You're setting boundaries. This is what the issue is. This is how we can shift it. And if you're like, I'm confused, or I don't get it, or any of the above, let me know. Because any questions that you ask me will be questions that I answer in my next Wednesday session, right? So Wednesday, mindset reset, that's what I'm here for. Ask those questions, guys. I love getting them. I love giving you the answers, and I appreciate you so much. Bring it in. Big squishy hugs. You guys take care of you and get the support that you need. Any of you who are saying, I don't need that, I do it myself. How long have you been trying to do it yourself? And if the answer is more than a week, more than 2 weeks, more than a month, why have to do it by yourself if you can have someone who can help you do it much easier and within getting results within your first session, your first week, right? So yeah, let me know. I look forward to talking to you guys. You take care of yourselves. All right, guys, have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next Wednesday. And you guys help decide the topic. I'll talk to you then. Bye for now.